opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Jason Bible.
Welcome to the show. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. If you want to give me a call with your real estate questions, we're taking those at 713-785-1817. We're also on Facebook. For the folks on Facebook, you probably noticed, got a new camera. So hopefully it's streaming there in HD glory. Tom and I are actually going to have to get a makeup person now. This thing runs so high res. So in any case, today's Friday. We don't have a guest today on Investor Friday. We got a couple of things we can do. I can tell you some war stories about some stuff that's happened this week. I've also got the HAR report up, which talks specifically about Houston real estate and what's going on in Houston. The big news around town that is definitely real estate related is that it'll be less than 90 degrees today. So fall is officially upon us on October the 21st. So in any case, it's getting cool out there. It starts to feel like winter. This is one of our favorite times of year. We buy a ton of houses in the fourth quarter. We've talked about a couple of deals. Tom and I, the last couple of days, we've had some really unique deals come up with some really unique title issues that we're working through. But this is a great time of year to start investing. And it's a great time of year to start learning and getting ready for 2017. At the end of October, the last week in October, which is a week from today, October 28th, 29th, and 30th, we're hosting our weekend retreat. And what do we do there? We're going to teach you how to find, fund, and market for real estate deals. Whether you want to buy rental properties, you want to be a wholesaler, you want to flip houses, you want to be a real estate investor or a real estate entrepreneur, those are the things that we'll be talking about for 3 days. If you can imagine that, having Tom and I both for 3 days straight. October 28th, 29th, and 30th. Just go to rightpathrealestate.com, click on the training link, and sign up for the class. It's going to be a great class. It's going to be super exciting. We've finalized all the presentations. This is the first time we've done a 3-day class, and we're actually having a big meeting today to prepare for the event. So it's going to be a great event. We're actually going to do a happy hour Friday night with all the event participants, and then we're doing a VIP dinner Saturday night, which would be just Tom and I and a couple of the VIP folks. So it's going to be a great event. You're going to learn a lot. If you are brand new to real estate, we added a whole section on investor language and math. One of the things we find is that whether you're a new investor or a seasoned investor, we have to build or establish a foundation. A lot of people have different levels of education when they come into our classes, whether that's real estate education or just kind of general academic education from colleges and that sort of thing. So we like to make sure we're all speaking the same language. And then we spend some time on investor math. It's amazing to me when we talk to even seasoned real estate investors who say, hey, you can do this. This is how cap rate works. This is how this works. This is, and they go, well, I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know that's how the math works. So we spend a few hours there on Friday talking about that. And then Tom and I get into the basics of marketing. This is how you market. Whether you're buying a house from a wholesaler or a realtor or buying them directly from homeowners or other real estate professionals, you have to have a marketing plan. Simply showing up on MLS and putting in an offer is not a marketing plan. And then you have to have a sales strategy. Well, what is that sales strategy like? Well, it works a little bit different depending on if you're working with realtors and wholesalers and other real estate professionals or if you're working directly with homeowners. So That's what our first day of our class is. And for those of y'all that will be on the radio, we're going to broadcast the first hour of our class live on the radio, assuming everything works like it's supposed to. This will be our first time we do the live broadcast from anywhere but our office. But assuming they got all that stuff up and running, that's what we'll do. We'll do the first hour so y'all can hear the first hour of our class. It'll be interesting. Certainly. So in any case, that's our first day of our class. The second day of our class is putting together that business plan, showing you what a pro forma looks like. And this is really, when you hear people say like, well, I want to retire in 5 years or less. Okay, well, what's the plan to do that? Well, I don't know. I just want to make money so I can do, hang out with my kids or whatever you want to do. And that's fine, but you've got to have a business plan to do that. And so we talk about what did our business plan look like in Houston House Buyers, and actually we give it to you during the class. We give you our Excel spreadsheets, got all that stuff on there. And throughout the day, we unfold what that business plan looks like, how to build a marketing plan, how to build a sales plan. And then day 3 is really incorporating all those concepts together, analyzing deals. Our deal analyzing tool is also a part of the class. We have a construction estimator that we use that's really quick and easy to use, and you can tweak it for your market. So even those folks that are not in Texas, as long as you get some of the critical pricing in to this tool, you could then go ahead and use it just about wherever you're at. In fact, this was the tool when I had first started out in real estate. I'd gotten a lot of education, but none of these tools were really available. So I created the tools, and I'll never forget, I could walk through a house in about 5 to 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and I could tell you what the rehab cost was going to be within about $2,000. So that's a pretty critical component of being able to formulate and offer and analyze a deal. So we're going to talk about that. Actually, Fast Track Roofing or Fast Track Remodeling is going to come into the class. They're going to teach you guys how they do rehabs and how to estimate a rehab as an investor. They're going to spend like an hour just going through all their detailed analysis. So and then of course we're going to have Quest IRA there. We're going to talk a lot about IRAs, HSAs, Coverdell accounts, all that kind of stuff. You'll have an hour with Quest IRA. So it's going to be a fantastic event. It's going to be a lot of learning. I'm going to warn you now, Thursday night, get to bed early. Get you a big hearty breakfast, even though I think we're going to have coffee and treats and stuff at the event. Get you a big old hearty breakfast because it's going to be a lot of learning. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, and even for those folks that are seasoned investor, we have folks, this is the third time we're teaching this class, but it's the first time it's a 3-day class. And we've got a number of repeat customers coming back, and we've been teaching this, like I said, this will be the third time. We've only done it over a 6-month period. So these folks think there's incredible value, and they're coming back. And I'll tell you, you're going to learn something. Even if you've taken the class before, you're going to learn something new. If you've been doing this for 20 years, you will learn something new. I'm telling you, the way we look at real estate is very different than how most folks look at it. We really look at it as a business first, and that's really what you need to do as a real estate entrepreneur and as an investor. Taking questions today, this is Jason Bible with Right Path Real Estate, number 713-785-1817. So we'll take your calls. Just give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions you've got. But just be prepared. This weekend's class is going to be a mind game changer, that's for sure. We also talk about how to analyze markets. Probably one of the most popular questions I get outside of the marketing and sales realm is, hey, what's going on in real estate? I mean, everybody I know asks this question. Even people I don't know. They see my shirt and they go, or they ask me and they say, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in real estate. Well, how's the market? And I always do this. I go, oh boy, this is going to be a long question. And of course, they don't know what's coming. They just think, they just want an answer like, oh, it's good or it's bad, that sort of thing. And I'm like, well, depends on what you consider the market. And they say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, it could mean a couple of different things. You know, are you talking about houses above $250,000? Talking about houses below $250,000 to flip? Are you talking about wholesale deals? Are you talking about rental properties? Are you talking about lending, you know, borrowing and lending for folks that have got IRAs that want to invest in real estate but don't want to do the work? You know, what does that market look like? So whenever some poor person asks that question, it says, you know, and they're just being nice, you know, to create conversation, say, hey man, what's going on in the market? And I just go, oh boy.
2 minutes.
How much time do you have? This could be a 2-hour long discussion. In fact, I'm already getting ready right now because it happens around the first of the year. I'm already getting ready for all of the requests from different real estate groups that say, hey, Jason, can you come in and sit on a panel? Or, hey, can you come in and do a 30-minute or an hour-long presentation on, you know, what happened in 2016 and what do you think is going to happen in 2017? So it's always a fun time of year, but I'm just preparing myself, you know, that winter is coming, if you will, and that there's going to be a whole bunch of questions that are market related. So in any case, that's what we're going to do at our weekend retreat. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. The price, it is extraordinarily affordable for what we're doing. We literally open up the books. We get you behind the closed doors of Houston house buyers and how we bought 200 houses in less than 3 years. I don't know anyone has bought as many houses fast as we have that also did wholesaling and flipping. I know some people have wholesaled a lot of properties, but it's a whole different game when you're actually taking possession of these things. You're putting rehab dollars into them, you're flipping them, or you're going in and doing landlord deals and owner finance and sub-2. I mean, we've done it. I don't want to say we've done it all in 2 years, but we've done a heck of a lot. So, and that's really who you should be learning from. If you're interested in real estate, you should be learning from the people who do a lot of real estate. And you should be learning from folks that do it in recent times, not 25 years ago. So when we get back from the break, we'll talk more about the market area report here in Houston, more about our weekend retreat. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Join a group of hardworking investors willing to share their knowledge and experience with others. We're not just another guru-driven club. We're a community of Houston's most successful real estate investors. Discover more at richradio.org. The Realty Investment Club of Houston, the Rich Club, has taught more real estate investors than any other program in the state. Join the Rich Club and become part of the most informed community in Houston. Quickly discover your investment options. Receive the information you need to get started. Learn what it takes to avoid the pitfalls of real estate investment. You have questions? We have answers. If you're considering investments in Houston's real estate, then richradio.org is the quickest way to join the community and learn how to make money in today's market. Learn more about the education and community at richradio.org. Join our community to learn what it takes to make money in Houston. Visit richradio.org. That's RICH radio.org.
Tower funding is not available in all states. Timing of funding varies case by case. Callers must be represented by an attorney. Repayment and fees apply upon case settlement.
I was in an accident and couldn't pay my bills. I called Tower Funding and got a cash advance on my case.
I tried to go back to work, but I couldn't. I needed some cash.
There's no credit check, and if I lost my case, I owe nothing.
Have you been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Do you have a bad drug or personal injury case? We can get you a cash advance on your case in as little as 72 hours. There's no risk or obligation to repay unless you win or settle.
I couldn't wait any longer for some money, and if I lost my case, I owed nothing, not one penny.
Call now. There's no credit check, and you only repay if you win or settle. Get a cash advance on your legal case in as little as 72 hours. Call 800-648-8856, 800-648-8856, 800-648-8856, 800-648-8856.
This is Business
Hot
1110.
mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. As Tom says, put your fear of calling behind you. 713-785-1817. Actually, I'm getting messages on Facebook, and some of y'all are actually texting me. So I need to take a look at some of those messages during the break. I want to talk a little bit about the HAR report, Houston Area Realtors. That's what we call our MLS here in Greater Houston area. This is from September. So they give the report actually came out the 13th, about 10 days ago, for September. I get a lot of questions, particularly when I was in Seattle. Hey, what's the market like Houston? What is the market in Houston like? Because of the changes in oil and gas and that sort of thing. And now, when you first read these reports, it's a lot like stuff that gets posted, political posts on Facebook. Someone links to a story. You read the story. I don't care where the story comes from. You need to look at the underlying data, because that is really what's going to tell you what's going on. Because most of these things are written by folks with a particular, I don't want to call it bias, because I don't think it's that strong. Now, in politics it is, but I don't think it's that strong in this case. But you really have to get at the underlying data, because there's some assumptions that are made at the analysis level that sometimes get lost when it gets analyzed and aggregated into a story. Maybe that's the easiest way I can say that. So I'm going to read through a portion of the report here, and then I'm going to take out pieces that I think are important or not important, and then talk about various spots in the market. Every single market across this country has strata in it. It's got different areas in the market. In other words, if you were to look at like a rock, the one thing I remember from my geology class is if you look at like a sandstone rock, or if you look at like a tree, when they cut a tree in half, it's got those rings. It's got those different layers. That's what a real estate market looks like. And when you take a sample, when you do a market analysis of a whole market like Houston, it's kind of like taking a core sample through ice or a core sample through a tree. You'll see all these different rings, but and they try and tell you the whole story of the tree. Or they try and tell you the whole story of that piece of rock with all those different lines in it. But the reality is each one of those little lines represents a different submarket and a different story. So when I talk to folks, a good example is like our friends up in Seattle. When I was chatting with the folks in Seattle, hey, how's y'all's market? And they said it's going like gangbusters because of all the tech up there, all the IPO. Much like if you were to talk to some of the folks in the Bay Area, same thing, all that new IPO money just blowing in from all those tech companies, their real estate market's going through the roof. Now, does that mean all of their markets are appreciating? Maybe, maybe not. if you start to go into the lower end sides of town, maybe they aren't experiencing that same growth. So Houston's a lot the same way. When someone says, oh my gosh, oil and gas, it must be a bloodbath down there. People are living in huts and, under bridges and all that. I'm like, no, that's not really. This is one of the, Texas is, I'd have to go back and look. Texas as a whole has got to be the 8th or 9th or maybe even 10th largest economy in the world if it were just taken out as a state. Just the state is enormous. And Houston, the greater Houston area. In fact, I'll give you this stat. This is one of my favorite stats, particularly with the people in California, because it blows their mind. Because, the folks in California, when you get between a couple of different states, California, Texas, New York, and Alaska, and the only reason Alaska is cool is because it's actually physically bigger than Texas. Other than that, and their weather actually is a little bit nicer during the summer. But when you get amongst these states, there's a little bit of bragging that goes on. So I always get the California guys that talk about how crazy their market is and how rapidly it's expanding and all the new construction and all that other stuff. And I say, you know what? Last year in Houston, now mind you, Houston is not going through the historic housing boom like it did in 2000, the ramp up to 2007 and 2008. We aren't building anywhere near as many houses as we did in 07 and 08. So to give you a little perspective, in Houston, Texas, 2015, which was not exactly like a crazy year for real estate here in Houston, we built more new houses in Houston than the entire state of California. I want you to listen to that again. We built more new houses in the greater Houston market than the entire state of California. Now, I love to hear how hot some of these markets are, but then when you look at how many investors are down here in this market, how many houses are being built, all that. Now, some people will say, well, oh my gosh, does that mean your market's overbuilt? No, it's not. And this HAR report actually highlights some of that. So let me go through some of these numbers. It looks like September. Now, remember, it's October now, so this is the report from September. It says houses have cooled a little bit. There's been some positive sales volume from houses priced between $150 and $500. I'll talk about why that is here in a minute. According to the latest HAR report, we sold about 6,500 houses in this market. Tom and I's best guess, and it says it down here somewhere in the report, that between on-market, so things that get listed on MLS, and off-market in the greater Houston area, we sell about 10,000 houses a month. I shouldn't say just houses, pieces of real estate. Could be land, could be mobile homes, could be about 10,000 pieces of real estate are transacted a month here in Houston. So when I tell people I want to do in Houston house buyers 30 houses a month, and they go, oh my gosh, that's huge. I'm like, no, it's not. It's less than 1/2 of 1/10 of the entire market. It's not that big. This market is ginormous. I go to a national conference every year in Vegas, and last year I spoke for an hour and a half on marketing, and I was on an expert panel, and this year I'm just doing the panel. And the company that puts on this event originally started in Connecticut. And one of my slides in my marketing presentation, I would superimpose the entire state of Connecticut on Houston. The market that we operate in Houston is bigger than that entire state. So whenever we start talking about marketing and sales, particularly in a market that's this big, you've really got to whittle it down to certain submarkets. Otherwise, you're going to spend your entire career driving around the city of Houston. Especially as you're starting out, it's really important to define what that target market is. And by the way, we talk about all of this stuff at our weekend retreat, which is next week. So go to rightpathrealestate.com and you can sign up for it there. So all right, let me zip through this here. Our median home price has risen yet again. Our median home price in Houston, this is going to blow some of y'all away that have lived in Houston for a long time. Our median home price is $220,000. $220,000. That's insane. To give you an idea, one of the reasons that's the case is there are virtually no neighborhoods that are building new construction, new homes for less than $200,000. This past week on Monday, I was talking about the bike ride I did this weekend, and we were way out on the east side of Bay of Galveston, or Galveston Bay, and there's a neighborhood out there, and they started at 160. and they didn't have a whole lot of houses left, and they were like cookie cutter. I mean, they were just building these things as fast as they could. There's another neighborhood just outside of 99 between Sugar Land and South Acadie, and they're starting at $180,000 there. So when you look at the greater Houston market, there's really not any affordable houses left. So what happens? Inventory starts to shrink, demand either stays the same or increases, and what happens? Prices begin to rise, and that's exactly what we're seeing at the lower end of homes. Let's see, September sales for all property types in Houston totaled almost 8,000. So it's not a far stretch to say about 10,000 pieces of real estate a month, or all property types, are sold in the greater Houston market. Going through here, active listings, all that sort of stuff. You scroll down to about a third down the page, and it has total property sales. So for the month of September, comparing year over year, we're down about 1.6%. So this time last year, we sold about 8,000 pieces of property, total property sales, and then this year this month it's about 7,900. Dollar volume is about unchanged. Total active listings. This is where things start to get interesting. Total active listings are up 12%. So last year we had about 34,000 active listings. This year we have 38,000. So a lot of houses on the market. Median home price is up about 5%. Which equates to about $10,000. I wanted to say one thing about median home price that's really fascinating. There are a lot of people in real estate right now that have no business being in real estate. And one of the ways their business is surviving, despite the fact that they shouldn't be in this business, is the fact that prices continue to rise. We see this a lot in some of the folks in the really hot markets in California. That is, they go and buy an asset, and they're too thin when they buy it. And they goof the rehab up, and they finally get the rehab right, and they finally get it listed on the market. And let's say it takes 8, 9, 10 months to get it listed on the market. Well, in almost 12 months, we've seen the median home price jump 5%. So if they bought it with a relatively thin margin, they can then recoup some of those losses or start making a little bit more money simply because the market continues to appreciate. Unfortunately, those are the people that would be out of the business the soonest when the market changes. And actually, that is actually happening in certain markets here in Houston. Some flip markets above $250,000. And I'll talk a little bit more about those. Single-family pending sales are up 10%. We get back from the break, I want to talk more about the single-family home updates from HAR here in Houston, the market update. I'm going to talk about rental properties because the rental numbers are always kind of squirrely in looking at this. And then we're going to talk about townhomes and condos, which are the proverbial canary in the coal mine in any real estate market. This is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Mike's off.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process.
Oh, is this a new commercial?
Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
The Realty Investment Club of Houston has taught more real estate investors than any other program in the state. Come check us out at richradio.org. If you're considering learning how to invest in real estate, then richradio.org is the quickest way to learn how to make money in the Houston market. We're not just another guru-driven club. We're a community of Houston's most successful real estate investors. Join our community to learn what it takes to make money in Houston. Visit richradio.org. That's RICH.
Hey, Brian, did you get my message I sent you?
You want to learn how to buy 200 houses in less than 3 years? Well, folks, we've done it. This is Jason Bible of Right Path Real Estate. We've got a weekend retreat coming up October 28th, 29th, and 30th here in Houston, Texas at Memorial City Center. We're teaching our students how to find, fund, and market for real estate deals. So if you want to learn how to do 200 houses like we have, come to that event. Go to rightpathrealestate.com or give us a call, 281-888-9555 to sign up for our weekend retreat.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation.
We don't do that.
You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what
we're A+ rated
you
with
owe.
the BBB. We need to start using that a little bit more.
Debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020.
Are you expecting to close accurately,
All right, you got 1
on
minute.
time,
Okay.
and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started.
Hey, what do you
I'm
guys on
Jennifer
Facebook think of the
Hernandez,
new camera?
The Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611.
Actually, new camera and new monitor.
Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
This is
All right,
Business
Jay, hot mics
1110.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Put your fear of calling behind you. 713-785-1817. I am going to look at some questions here on the old Facebook before I keep going on with the marketing report. Brian asked, hey, can you talk about focusing in larger markets? This is a tough one to talk about on the radio. I usually need a whiteboard. We have a little joke here in our office about whiteboards. If y'all make it to the retreat this weekend, we'll tell the whiteboard story, which is pretty funny, and I still get harassed about today. But really, you've got to, what drives your marketing and sales, what drives your real estate business is where you want to be in the next couple of years. And that is it you want to retire in 5 years and have $10,000 a month in passive income? Is it you want a wholesaling and flipping business and buy some rental properties? Do you want to do owner finance and act like the bank? So in all of those scenarios, each one is going to have a different marketing and sales strategy. The type of houses you're looking for. Let me back up. You're looking for two things when you're out marketing. You're looking for people and you're looking for assets. I want to say this again. This is really important. You're looking for people and you're looking for assets. So much of real estate education out there is looking for assets, and they're missing 75% of the equation, which is the people you want to buy houses from. You have to have a marketing program for both. Houses do not sell themselves, even on MLS. You have to know the type of people you want to buy houses from and the type of houses you want to own. That's very, very important. Once those align with your goals, your long-term goals, then you can build a marketing strategy and plan to be able to buy the houses and work with the people that you want so you can meet your goals. It's like I said, it's hard to explain on the radio without having to draw some things out and show you some of our PowerPoint slides. But when we're talking about focusing in on markets, you've got to know what you want. And then once you know what you want, then you know how to get to those markets. For example, I've got a colleague of mine that loves to owner finance mobile homes. That's his thing. He wants to sell mobile homes owner finance, which means that he is acting as the bank. He sells the mobile home, and then he also, quote, sells them the financing. So how does he do that? Well, he's got to find mobile homes in certain submarkets and deal with certain types of people who want to sell him those mobile homes. And he's got a marketing plan and strategy that go right around that. He also has a sales plan and strategy around that. How do you acquire these things? How do you then fix them up? How do you market them for sale? And then, of course, there's an operations segment here. How do you fix them up? How do you sell them? How do you service those notes? Because he's creating notes with them. I've got a friend of mine that's a big wholesaler here in town, and he likes to do lower-end properties. So these properties have an ARV, an after-repaired value, in other words, what they're worth when they're all fixed up, of $50,000 or $60,000. Yes, you can buy houses in Houston, Texas, fixed up for $50,000 and $60,000. You can also buy them for $5 and $10 million. We got a pretty wide market here. Well, his marketing and sales strategy is tuned to those submarkets. For us, we really like to stay at or below the median home price. That doesn't mean we don't buy higher end houses. I mean, about 3 months ago, we looked at a $1.5 million house. But most of our marketing is geared towards houses below the median home price. And we do that for a couple of reasons. Actually, it's a risk. Part of it is risk management. The nice thing is about doing flipping houses and wholesaling houses that also make great rental properties is that when the market changes, you just turn them into rentals. You don't get stuck with a bunch of inventory that you can't move. We see that with a lot of high-end flippers. There's some folks in the Heights right now and in other sides of town who have got houses they're flipping above $250,000 that lenders are having to foreclose on them because they can't sell them. They're in them upside down. They didn't buy them cheap enough. They didn't rehab them right. And now they're upside down on these assets because those markets have cooled substantially. So, Brian, it's hard for me to say how you focus specifically in some of these larger markets. I'd say you're going to have to focus in any market, but you really have to know exactly what you want. That's the critical component in this whole deal. So, all right, let me see if I got some more questions here on Facebook. Are there any particular market or niches that you would recommend for a new wholesaler? How can I explain this? If you are a good wholesaler, you can wholesale anything in any market. You really can. If you buy it deep enough, you can wholesale in any market. And I want to break some conventional wisdom here. Whenever you get in front of a group of real estate investors, people will always say wholesaling is the easiest thing to do in real estate. Nothing could be further from the truth. The hardest thing in this business to be is a wholesaler. And here's why. A real estate wholesaler sells properties to other investors, meaning a wholesaler has to have a superior marketing and sales program in order to sell it to an investor. In other words, a wholesaler has to pay the least for the property to sell it to someone else. There's got to be enough meat on the bone, if you will, for the investor to make money. That is the hardest thing to do in this business. I think the easiest thing to do in real estate, bar none, is to be a landlord. That is I ought to back that up a little bit. A lender is actually the easiest thing to do in real estate. It's almost 100% passive. If you're active in real estate, the second easiest thing to do is to be a landlord. Now, what's fascinating is when you're a landlord, you don the most liability because you've got people living in your house. But it is absolutely the easiest thing to do. I was at a big networking event Wednesday night, And a buddy of mine, actually 2 guys, have done their first landlord deals. And actually, Andy is one of them. We're going to go through the house and do a little video for those folks that follow us on Facebook. Do like a miniature case study, if you will, for Andy and his first deal. I had another buddy of mine who has also done his first deal. And he is probably, if I were to guess, somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 out of pocket more than he expected. In other words, he is an extra 15 to 20 grand into this deal than he expected, and he's pretty close to paying retail for the property. In other words, he didn't get any bit of a discount for taking the risk of being a landlord. Now, is he going to lose money? No. Here's why. Landlords hold on to their assets much longer. If a landlord is out of pocket a greater amount, they just hold on to it a little bit longer. He's going to cash flow somewhere between 8 and 10%. Not a stellar return, but he's going to make money on it. And he's just going to end up holding on to it until the market appreciates enough for him to turn around and sell it and get his capital out and make a little bit of money. So landlords have it pretty easy. You just hold on to it long term. The folks that take the most risk are new home builders. That is probably the most risky thing in single-family residential real estate. Because if that market changes, they don't have another out. Actually, a lot of times what happens if they can't get out when the market changes, typically they go bankrupt. Or that business goes bankrupt. That's typically what happens. The new home builders are probably the most risky. Now, the least risky are the wholesalers that never take title to real estate. Because at the end of the day, they don't take title, they don't close on it, they just move on. So to go back to the question, are there any particular markets or niches that you would recommend for a new wholesaler? I think you can buy real estate to wholesale in any market. However, there is a way to determine which market has the most investor activity. There are some free tools that you can use online that we actually talk about in our weekend retreat and in our mastermind that can show you where the most active real estate investors are in any market across the country. I can pull this data for any market across the country, and it's completely free. I explain more of it on the radio, but I'm going to put half of you guys to sleep. Just come to our weekend retreat and I can show you how to do it. You've got to download some Excel files and put some things together, but you can see and you can do it by zip code. So I can show you any market across the country where the most real estate investors are active. I mean, you can do it, active per capita, active per, it's basically where all the real estate investors at. That's really what you want to know from a wholesale standpoint. However, if you're a pretty good salesperson, there are investors in just about any market. You could sell just about any piece of real estate if you get it cheap enough. That's the reality. So if you get it cheap enough, there's a lot of opportunities out there for you to sell it. So, all right, well, I don't see any more questions here on the old Facebook. So I'm going to go back to the HAR report. So here in the HAR report, here's the single family update. Sales are down about 0.5%. Here's the interesting thing. Broken out by housing segment, September sales performed as follows. Houses below $80,000, sales volume decreased 20%. Now, what does that mean? Oh my gosh, it means houses below $80,000 are not selling. No, that's not what that means. That actually means those houses have appreciated into the next bracket. So let's look at the next bracket. That next bracket is $80,000 to $150,000. That bracket's decreased 20%. So wait a second. Does that mean they just aren't selling those houses anymore? What's going on? Now remember, the median home price in Houston now is $220,000. So if you're below $220,000, that means 50% of the market's below $220,000. Now let's look at the next market. The next bracket is $150,000 to $250,000. Those sales have increased 7.2%. That's the bulk of the activity in this market's 150 to 250. We get back from the break, we'll talk more about what markets to be in, where to flip versus where not to, where to rent versus not to, and wholesaling. This is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator
master's
and a
one way to
contract
put it. They
close
absolutely
associate.
dominated.
Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender, NMLS 514497. From Conroe to Galveston, Orange to Flatonia, and all points in between, Texas General Insurance Agency is trusted by individuals and businesses across the great state of Texas. Whether you're searching for the best auto insurance in Fort Bend, a flood policy for a Galveston beach property, or coverage for your rental and investment homes in Houston, Texas General Insurance Agency understands your unique needs. Throughout the Lone Star State, their experienced and trusted independent agents offer guidance to clients on the risk-based needs associated with auto and home, investment properties, commercial, and farm and ranch coverage. Their commitment to quality and service allows them to compare multiple markets, coverage, and price to give you the best possible value. Texas General Insurance Agency appreciates the opportunity to learn how they can work for you. Call one of their experienced agents today at 713-622-5977. That's 713-622-5977. Or go to texasgeneralinsurance.com.
Do you want to learn how to buy 200 houses in less than 3 years?
I do.
Well, folks, we've done it. This is Jason Bible of Right Path Real Estate. We've got a weekend retreat coming up October 28th, 29th, and 30th here in Houston, Texas at Memorial City Center. We're teaching our students how to find, fund, and market for real estate deals. So if you want to learn how to do 200 houses like we have, come to that event. Go to rightpathrealestate.com or give us a call, 281-888-9555 to sign up for our weekend retreat.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab. We manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 5 years, Fast Track has completed over 500 projects, which has helped us create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Better education, stronger economy, effective leadership. These are the pillars that Dr. Brian Chu believes are essential for a solid community and economy. Brian knows firsthand the privileges and rights that America offers its citizens. He's achieved the American dream and now wants to give back by serving you. Learn more about the evolution of his conservative values and work ethic online at brianchufortexas.com. Support Dr. Brian Chu for the Texas House District 149. Learn more at brianchufortexas.com.
Get ready, get set. Game-changing radio is here. Business Newsmakers Radio with me, Lou Guarino. Every show, we bring you the hottest business newsmakers from all over the globe. Our newsmakers share their views on what made them so successful and how you can benefit from their expertise. I don't use fluffy fillers or word salads. No way, man. I hit them hard with questions that will give you something powerful to make a difference in your business today. The secrets of success are with me, Lou Guarino, right here on Business Newsmakers Radio.
Join Lou Guarino for Business Newsmakers Radio, Mondays at 3 on Business 1110 KTEK.
4, this is 3, Business 1110.
2, 1.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Give us a call, 713-785-1817 with your real estate questions. Well, I guess we can take questions on anything, but real estate's what we're here for. So I've been talking about what's going on in the Houston market and digging into the numbers of this last September. So I'm going through the September sales, and let's just keep going through them. So houses below $80,000, the number of sales decreased 20%. Houses between 80 and 150 decreased 20%. The houses between $150,000 and $250,000 increased 7.2%. The houses from 250 to 500 increased 4.8. Houses above 500 decreased 1.1. So the question is, what's going on? That's really what you want to ask. What's going on? All of the activity right now in Houston is in between two markets. There's a flip market and a landlord market. I wouldn't even call it a retail buyer market. It's just that's what's going on in these markets. And it's between $80,000 and $250,000. That is a really nice little sweet spot to operate in. In fact, that's where we're operating in, between 80 and 250K. From about 80 to 150, fantastic rental market. You see a lot of landlords in there buying deals. And there's a retail market there, but there's a whole bunch of landlords that are buying. And then houses above $150,000 to $250,000, whole bunch of flippers. And the reason that is there's just not a whole lot of affordable housing. So between $150,000 and $250,000, you've got retail buyers that don't have to compete with landlords, and typically they're buying their first house. A lot of first-time home buyers, and that's who we've got between that $150,000 and $250,000 price bracket. So let me go down here a little bit. Townhomes and condos. So townhome and condo update, and then Nikki, did you say we had a caller?
Negative. I said 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes. Oh, we're at the last segment. Okay, so let me give you guys the quick townhouse and condo update. In every market we look at across the country, typically the condos and townhomes are the canary in the coal mine. When you see a lot of changes in the townhouse and condo market, that typically trickles down to the housing market, the single-family housing market. So let me tell you what's going on here in the townhome market in Houston. Sales declined 3.1% versus a year prior. Average sales price fell 3.7%, and the median price dropped 5%. Inventory grew from 3.1 to 3.7 months. That's 20% by my numbers. So what's that mean? Single-family housing market will begin to cool, will continue to cool in Houston. Now, a little caveat here. The median price for these condos and townhomes is $147,000, which is ridiculous. I mean, they're selling a lot. The average price is almost $200,000. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. For you landlords out there, single-family home leases rose 5.4%, and leases for townhomes and condos jumped 11%. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because the vast majority of you that listen to this radio program are not in Class A rents. In fact, vast majority of you are not even in Class B. The average single-family home rents for $1,760 a month, which is, most people don't listen to this radio show. So I would take that with a grain of salt. Be careful with the landlord properties. I'll see you guys Monday. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
You can put the fear behind
Mike's
you
off.
and listen every day from 9 to 10 a.m. on Business 1110 KTEK.
Sweet.
All right, Jason. Have a good weekend. I'll see you or talk to you on Monday.
Okay, cool. See you later, Nikki.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, Facebook folks. See you guys later.